Demonic wisdom is there. This is unscriptural. It harbors a lot of bitterness, envy, selfish ambition. We have seen this demonic wisdom with many of our politicians who are the...
Welcome back to Havana Media. My name is Boniface Awino, and as usual, I'm going to be your host for today. Now, I just want to go direct to my discussion or the discussion today. If you all remember very well, there was a time that I said here, I was talking about the stand, and I will still ask this question up to the end, that what is the position of churches in politics? Because I've come to realize that a lot of church leaders, most of church leaders right now are withdrawing from the government, yet they were supporting the government during the election.
James talks about demonic wisdom. Demonic wisdom is there. This is unscriptural. It harbors a lot of bitterness, envy, selfish ambition. We have seen this demonic wisdom with many of our politicians, who all they want is to have everything for themselves. They don't care. You saw this demonic wisdom do work the other day. The moment our Gen Zs went out to say there is wrong governance, the demonic people in this country sponsored goons. That is what we call demonic wisdom. Because in sociology, and go and study, they say, if you want something not to be accepted by the people, all you need to do is to make it evil. Let me give you an example. At one time, there was a movement in this country that was called Mungiki. Not the second one. The first one started by Gonyo Agakonya. That movement, its aim was to get land back to the peasants. The moment the rich people in this country and the politicians realized that their land is going to go, they sponsored an evil Mungiki. It was simply sponsored. This is what happened the other day. The moment Gen Zs went out, our politicians and influential people sponsored other young people to come and fight and to go and throw stones. And our young people were killed. We lost our young people. Why? Because of somebody who is demonic. And go and tell them. It's called demonic wisdom. And they think that they are wise. Actually, I can see them all over the country now running all over thinking they are wise people. They are demonic. And unless they repent, they'll go to hell.
There is one thing that I've noticed, that right now, all those pastors, all those preachers who are following William Ruto up and down, welcoming, calling him in their churches, and then giving William Ruto, giving them funds, right now they're withdrawing from William Ruto, and now they're starting to see that William Ruto is a bad guy. But by then, when they were benefiting from William Ruto, they were not seeing this thing. So during the time that the brown envelope was talking, they were not seeing as like William Ruto is a bad person, is a dictator. But right now, they are seeing that William Ruto is a very bad person. I really don't understand where this narrative is coming from and where the abrupt changes come from. But one thing I know very well is that it is good that right now things are turning upside down and they're being exposed. In fact, not even they're being exposed, they're exposing themselves. These people are exposing themselves because you can't tell me that when someone is doing something good for you, benefiting someone, you are seeing the good side of this person. And then all of a sudden when things change, when this person now changes, now you are starting seeing this person as a bad guy. So, and that is why I asked that these pastors, it will be very difficult for them to stand as pastors, as preachers, to correct this government whenever they're doing something that is not right. I said this year, that it will reach a point that these people, if at all, maybe they will try to correct the bad governance or maybe the bad things that this government is doing, it will be very difficult because the government will say that you're trying to correct us, yet you have been one of us for a very long time. Just like right now, Bishop Margaret Wanjiru is in the government. She's enjoying herself, and she was really lamenting when her church was trying to be demolished. Right now, she's enjoying herself. So, are you seeing such kind of characters? So, right now, there is a statement that was made by pastors, by fathers.
The elected leaders have been mandated to fulfill roles conferred to them by the Constitution. They are among the highest paid legislators in the world. We are troubled by their heightened insensitivity and irresponsibility in carrying out their tasks allowing themselves to be captured and compromised in corrupt deals. Corruption may not always involve financial benefits, but the unjust use of position and authority or abuse of office. The massive greed we are witnessing is shocking and heartbreaking. The violation of human rights and freedom of speech. We are appalled by the blatant recurring incidents of reported abductions, disappearances, torture, and killings of Kenyans. We also decry the increasing murder of women. This has caused great consternation, anger, and disgust. Many families are still grappling with the loss of their children who were brutally killed, injured, or went missing following what is referred to as the Gen Z demonstrations in June 2024. Many of these victims had raised concerns about rampant corruption within and outside the government. Who is abducting these people? And is the government unable to stop these abductions and killings? The government must protect the life of every human person in Kenya, as stipulated in our Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, Article 26. The government must take the lead in following the law, which the leadership took an oath to uphold and defend at all times.
Now, the reason is why I was saying, I predicted this thing that and I've said it, that it will be very difficult for these pastors, for these fathers to correct this government, because if you try to correct the government, yet you have been part of the government, no one will listen to you. I want to read for you a statement that was made by Oscar Sudi concerning these pastors that are trying to correct the government. This is what Oscar Sudi said, that it is downfounding to see Archbishop Muheria preaching the gospel on one hand and feigning tribalism on the other hand. Muheria lacks moral authority to criticize the current regime because he is akin to double speak. The cleric is on record to backing the past regime, even when it was clear it had failed Kenyans and must be hold enough to stay away from tribal politics. So that is trying to correct Archbishop Muheria. Archbishop Muheria, for those who know Bishop Muheria was one of the bishops that was supporting the last regime that was being led by Uhuru Kenyatta. So he was in the government. A lot of things happened in the government. He did not correct them. Maybe say that this one should stop. Right now, he's trying to correct the government. Right now, this government. So that is now. Are you seeing the impact? This is now the exact impact of what I was talking about. That you cannot correct a regime. You cannot correct any government regime, yet you've been playing a very big role, a very big part of it. No one will take you serious. Just like right now, no one is taking this one very serious. In as much as there's also this Bishop Dominic Kimengich who is saying this, a culture of lies in government is a swift replacing the integrity and respect that Kenyans deserve. Basically, it seems that truth does not exist, and if it does, it's only what the government says. Kenyans have helplessly tolerated lies told to them constantly by the politicians. Kenyans must learn not to applaud or validate the lies that politicians tell them, but rather must resolve to seek and be led by the truth. Kenyans are waking up, pastors are waking up, but it is too late. That is what I can say, by the way. We can say that this thing is too late. They are late with this thing because they will not correct anybody. It is only a few. It is only a few that people like Mbad, that pastor called Band.
When you are dining and drinking with Ruto and eating money, I was not with you. When evil things are happening in this nation, you are mum, you are silent, you say nothing. Yet you are the cause of all this trouble. You shouted, you prayed, you said everywhere, everything to tell everybody who cared to listen that Ruto is God's project. Now it has turned bad. You're not talking. You stayed silent. When people were killed in Kisumu, in Nairobi, you stayed silent. Right now, people are being abducted. Abductions are taking place. You are silent. You are saying nothing. Saying nothing. Yet you said this government was born in prayer, was birthed in prayer. You have insulted God. Anything birthed in prayer brings peace. Anything birthed in prayer, in righteousness, brings joy, brings happiness. You have sinned against your God. Repent.
These are the people that can stand and correct this regime. Otherwise, some of the pastors, whatever they say, this regime will fire back at them. After all, guys, that is all I have for today. Let me know what you think in the comment section. But just a reminder, please, if you have been here for the first time, don't forget, take a minute, click the subscribe button. You can also like, share, and drop me a comment and tell me what you think and where you're watching this video from. Until we meet again in the next video, if it is possible, I have been your host, Boniface Obino. Bye-bye.